Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on the Crochet Royalty Play Crowns, and these are really kind of fun, and they're available in two different sizes, everything from 6 to 12 months and 18 to 24. So today we're going to begin working on this. It's a very simple idea. Maybe the young person in your life or somebody else that you know is having a celebration. So these are really quite cool. So let's begin looking at the pattern first. So let's take a look at the two crowns. There's version 1 and 2. It's just the version is just the color difference between each other. This one's more of an off-white with the fuchsia, and this is gray with more of a green. So there's version 1 and 2. That just gives you the information that you have to consider when you're looking at the colors. So it's kind of a neat idea. So as I promised, it's available in two different sizes. We have 6 to 12 months and 18 to 24 months. But how do we determine that in the pattern? Well, the pattern is available in color, and when there's a decision to be made, you'll see that there's two numbers. So 72 matches to 6 to 12 months and 78 matches to 18 to 24. So whenever there's a decision, so it says with the main color, MC equals main color, and if you're ever confused on these things, they are standard abbreviations that they use, and it says chain 72 if you're doing the 6 to 12 months, but if you're doing the other sides it's chain 78. So you're going to notice that when there's a decision to be made in patterns such as this, instead of writing two different patterns for two different sizes, they just highlight the numbers. And what I like to do is that I like to go in advance, and then using a pen or a highlighter, I like to circle the number of the one I'm about to do, and I go through it the pattern. Now the advantage to this particular one is that the way that it's done is that there's no other decisions to be made here. This is all this pattern is. It's a very quick and simple pattern to make. Today's tutorial, you'll need a 3.5 millimeter size E or /4 crochet hook, so a small hook, and you're also going to need a tape measure just like so in order to measure, because the distance is going to start off and then we're going to get so far and then we're going to put on the jewels here of the crown. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's get started. We're going to need your Caron Simply Soft, a size 3.5 millimeter or size E crochet hook today, and I'm going to be doing the smaller version of the chaining of 72, the 6 to 12 months, but you can substitute the other information. I've provided you a link in the more information of this video in order to access this free pattern. So let's start off with the slip knot, and I'm going to show you a tip right off the bat. So we're going to do a chain, and I need to chain 72. So here's the thing, I can just chain 72 and then the chain will, I have to untwist, but there's a secret to it. So let's just chain 10 together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now that I have 10, I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna insert my hook into the back one of where I started, like so, and then I'm gonna put that back on. So now I can continue to chain, just ignore this that's on the back, and I can continue to chain. So 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So that allows me to keep this chain from twisting with each other because it's already stuck to the back of the hook like so. So you have to go to a total of 72 for this size, or 78 if you're looking for the other size. So please do that now, and I'll see you at the back, and I'll show you how to put this together as a large ring. So now I have my 72 on here, and all I'm just gonna do is just yarn over, pull through this one and this one. So there was already 72 on there, and now this ring is not twisted in any way because of the way that I did it. Okay, you're gonna think this ring is actually quite big. Remember, when you start crocheting things, that's when you're gonna start seeing it compress. So let's begin first round. So we're just gonna chain up 1, okay, to start our revolution, and we're gonna work our way all the way around the chain. I want to suggest you turn over that chain and get the back loop only. So just going into the back loop of the chain and single crochet, and you're gonna do that in each one of these chains until you get back to where you had started. There should be a total of 72 if you're doing the small size. There will be a total of 78. The counting the very first time around is extremely important. Make sure that you do have those accurate counts, because the jewels, when they go on the top of this hat or top of the crown, they will be mattering on the counts at this particular stage. So this is the time when to pay attention the most, and you want to do that. So please go around single crochet on the chain. So as I come all the way around off camera, I counted, and I do indeed have 72. Now I'm just going to join it to the beginning single crochet to form the ring. When I do that, I want to make sure that this ring is not twisted in any way. So I don't want it twisting and turning on me. I want it to see, so I can just follow it around. So if you follow the top edge and it stays on the top edge, you know that it's accurate. So let's move along to the second round, and then all the other rounds are going to be repeating for that until we get to the top jewel area. So to begin this round, for approximately 1.5 inches for total, you need to do the same thing. So you're just gonna chain up one, and you're going to apply 1 single crochet into each, going all the way around. That's all that you have to do. And then when you get back to here, you're just gonna slip stitch to the beginning single crochet and start all over again. So you're gonna want to take a tape measure and measure from this edge to the new edge that you're gonna do about 1.5 inches. And so that you can do really quite easily. So I'm gonna leave that for you, and I'll just quickly meet you at the end of this revolution just to make sure you understand how to finish off a revolution and begin a next. So you just want to get 1.5 inches of this done. So I've just come all the way around. Make sure that you don't accidentally think that this one that's leaning over, okay, is part of the stitch. Okay, it's on its own. When you went to go over, it leans over. So you want to make sure that you don't think that's an extra one, or your hat or your crown will get much bigger. So once you come all the way around, just slip stitch to the top of the beginning single crochet and start again. See how I just finished that? It looked like it wasn't gonna be finishing on the way that it should be, but it does. So just chaining one, starting all over again, 1 single crochet into each. So make sure you get to 1.5 inches in width, and then I will see you back here and we'll start the crown. So I'm back, and off camera I did all of the 1.5 inches, and this is it. So I'm gonna fasten off with the main color next, and I'm just gonna slip stitch it to the last one. So that's it. So that's it for this color, and we'll bring it back later for the remaining. So we have 2 more rounds to do. One will be the actual adding the jewels. Okay, so I'm gonna use red, like rubies, and you can choose any color obviously depending on what your interests are in those kind of ideas. So now I'm just weaving in the ends here, and now I'm gonna get ready and start doing the jewels next. So I'm now ready to do the jewels, and I'm gonna use a red just like you see, and I'm just gonna create a slip knot just to begin. And I'm going to, right where we fastened off is right where I'm going to fasten on the new color that we have, and I'm just gonna insert in, and I'm gonna create a slip stitch just like so, and now I'm ready. So to begin this round, we're going to chain up one, and we're gonna do 1 single crochet into the same stitch where you just did the slip, and now we're ready then. And I'm just gonna put the straggler in behind so it's out of my way, and I'll use a darning needle later to be able to fasten that out. So we're going to skip 2 stitches just like you see here, and then we're gonna do 6 trebles into that next one, the third one. So you wrap that hook twice, and then you skip 1, 2, go to the third, and then you just do trebles like this. And you want a total of 6 trebles into that stitch. So that was 1, and you're going to do another one. This is 2. You do another. It's 3, and you got 4. And we got 5, and you got 6. So once you get all your 6 trebles in, you're gonna skip the next 2 stitches here and go to the third and single crochet. Okay, so that makes it come up like this, like a shell. So you begin again. So skipping 2 and then 6 trebles into the third one away. So we got 1 and 2, this is 3, this is 4, 5, that would have been 5, this is 5, and 6. And then again skipping 2, 1 and 2, go to the third, single crochet, and begin all over again. So skip 2 and then 6 trebles, and you're gonna do that all the way around regardless of what size you're working on. I'll see you at the end of this round. Okay, when you get all the way back around, you are going to have your 6 in here, and your single crochet is already there, so you're just going to join it then with the slip stitch to the beginning single crochet, and then fasten off this yarn, and then weave in the tails. And I'm gonna save the weaving for the end of the project because it's just easier to do it all at one time. So I'm just gonna weave it in and out of a few stitches here just to secure it, and then I got one more round to do, and we're gonna introduce that gray back in, so the main color back in, for a final revolution in order to make this look awesome. So let's begin to do that in a moment. So let's begin the final revolution. I'm gonna create a slip knot, and again I'll do the tails at the end. So what we're gonna do is that there's always 6 of these in the shell. So what we're gonna do is play in the first 3, then we're gonna chain 5, and then we're gonna play in the next 3, and then we're gonna always skip over these single crochets that are attaching. So when you go to attach it to the beginning of one of the trebles and just leave that single crochet alone. Just join it with a slip stitch and then chain 1, and then you're going to single crochet that one plus 2 more of its friends. Okay, so that's the first half of the 6 that are there. So now what I want to do is that I want to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and now I want to come in and the next 3 I'm going to put in a single crochet. So that's gonna make it like a point at the top. So 1, 2 and 3. So skipping over the single crochet, we're gonna start up the other side. So just visualize it as if it's 2 pieces. So the first 3 are going to be a single crochet. So 1, 2 and 3, then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then come down into the next 3 and single crochet. Please do that all the way around. So when you get all the way back around, you're just going to slip stitch to the beginning single crochet, and then that's it. So you have these tails that are in, you have the lifts that are up like a crown, really quite awesome. So I'm gonna cut it long enough that I can use a darning needle to weave in these loose ends. So let's get rid of that first. So now I'm just gonna turn it inside out, and I'm gonna deal with these tails. So starting down, I'm only gonna show it to you once, is that I'm only gonna show you one strand. So you're just gonna feed them into a darning needle and go into the same color that you're working with. So I wouldn't, if I was on red, I would not feed it through gray, because then you'll see it. So if you go in and out of your work a total of 3 times back and forth, so just going in, just stay on the back side of the project. So you go in 1, come back in the other direction for 2, and then go back in the other direction. 3rd time, this tail will never fall out on you, so you can safely trim it right down to your project. So just go right down in now, you'll never see it. So you'll want to do that with all of your colors that you have. So just we have a couple grays and a couple reds left, and do that. So in the red, just feed it through the back side of the red only, and same with the gray, go into the gray, and etc. with the gray as well. So please do that, and I'll just do a quick roundup at the end. So here's my kid's crown, just like so. You can see it got little pops up in the top, really quite neat. And you do have a side here. This is where you did your slip stitching. Yeah, you could put that on the back of the child's head. But really quite a cool idea, and I really think this is quite sharp. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com, celebrating creativity with you today. Until next time, have a super day. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.